Hey guys, my name is Cassandra and welcome to my YouTube channel. In today's video, I thought I'd talk about a topic that's a little bit personal. It's something that I struggled with in the past and something that kind of pertains to society nowadays. And it is the question, do I regret not going to college? And before I answer that, I thought I'd tell you a little bit about my story, my background, basically who I am. I'm 23 years old. I'm a college dropout. I grew up in the Bay Area in San Jose, California. I'm an only child. I grew up in a middle-high class family. My dad is a software engineer and my mom was a dentist. She's retired now. And growing up, I was always bombarded with ideas and career choices when I was younger. You know, when you're younger, people around you, parents or teachers or families always ask you what you want to be when you grow up. And as a kid, you don't really know. You're living your life, growing up, learning new things, and you don't really think about that until you graduate high school, right? But I was always bombarded by questions, and of course I would just be like, I don't know, I want to be a chef. I would bounce back and switch and change my ideas with my answers to that question. I remember saying I wanted to be an actress, a singer, a veterinarian even, because I loved animals, and what kid doesn't love animals? So that's also what was a common answer, not only me but my friends too, because we all loved animals. It wasn't until I was 12 or 13 when I just decided and told my mom that I wanted to be a dentist, and I just thought that was a more practical job, more realistic, because for one, my mom was a dentist and I just loved the idea of how she carried out her career and her job. She started her own business, and I thought it was great that she made her own schedule because she was her own boss, and she revolved her schedule around me so that she could pick me up from school and still spend time with me and take time off whenever she wanted to. So whenever my vacation or break was coming up from school, and we would travel together, so I just thought it would be the right thing to do to take over her practice when I'm older. So all throughout high school, my mom coached me and told me what classes to take to get into this pre-dental program that she was telling me about, which is an accelerated program made for, I guess, students like me that hated school and wanted to get in, get out, and get ahead. So there was this program that she knew about, the 2+3 program. Is 2 years of undergrad and 3 years of dental school. So you don't get a full bachelor's degree, and dental school is basically 8 years worth of school after high school. It's 4 years of bachelor's degree and 4 years of dental school. That's how long it's supposed to take. But with the pre-dental program, they're condensing what is 8 years of learning into 5 years of curriculum, which is really intense. But I had no idea. I thought it was a great idea, so I took the classes, and by the time I graduated high school, I got into the pre-dental program, and I was so excited. I mean, still to this day, I'm proud of myself that I worked hard to get to that point, and it was just really exciting that, especially since it's a program that was really hard to get into, that I managed to actually get into. So that was exciting. But within that summer, I had to take orientation, and I remember going in orientation and they talked about how the course is gonna go, and I remember the professor that was speaking was talking about how intense and stressful the pre-dental program was as opposed to the regular dental program. And I remember her saying that she's never seen so much acne except for on a Proactiv commercial for the people that were in the prenatal program. And that stressed me out because that just shows how stressful and how intense that program was. And within that time, it just scared me. It made me think that, gosh, I don't really want to go through that. I got into the prenatal program at University of Pacific in Stockton. So I wrote a letter to them saying that I declined the offer. And it was that point where I got so scared because I worked up to this point studying really hard just to get into this prenatal program, and I lost the opportunity. I didn't know where my head was going, where I was at, but within that split second after that orientation, I just knew that this program wasn't really for me, and so that's when I decided to go to community college after that and started taking classes to work up to the regular dental program, which is 4 years of college and then 4 years of dental school. But when I was in community college, I realized that I did not want to be a dentist either, and my mom kind of knew that because throughout high school I never had the curiosity to come over to my mom's dental chair and ask her what she was doing. I was never feeding off of her energy and her work. None of that drove passion through my blood, and I knew that, and she saw that because I didn't care. I was watching YouTube videos. I was not doing anything to show that I actually wanted this. So that's when I decided to change my degree. My mom was totally okay with it. And so I had this idea of maybe studying biology because I know that in high school, biology was my favorite class, and I was in the top of my class. So I just thought maybe I can be a biomedical engineer and design, prosthetics for people and just discover that world. And I took classes and I was just losing focus because I kept changing my degree. And I remember at one point I changed my degree again to studying culinary school because at that time I was also watching a bunch of YouTube videos and I was getting into cooking. And my mom gave me the idea, why don't you just become a chef? You like it, you're passionate about it. I remember taking classes there. I loved it. The culinary classes that I took, they gave us a real kitchen to work with, obviously, because we have to practice in the kitchen, and I love that part. Attached to the kitchen was also a restaurant that we also practiced in, and people would come in, customers would come in and eat our food, and we all had to switch turns in our class. So one week I was in the front of the house doing waitressing, and then one week I'm inside cooking, and I love the cooking part, but I realized I did not like restaurant business. I was also taking business classes on top of the culinary class because my dad wanted me to do something that was practical too, because of course our parents put that pressure on us to do something that's going to make money for us later, because that's the whole point they put us in school for. And so I was studying for that business degree on top of culinary classes, and every time I changed my degree, it prolonged my time in college. And I remember every day my dad was asking, what are you doing? How's school going? And why is your school, how long is it going to take until you finish and get your degree? And I remember because I was taking so many classes at once, it was going to delay me graduating. So I remember my dad was putting pressure on me to get out of school, get your degree, and I just knew that, why am I doing this? I don't even want a business degree anyway, but I'm doing this because my dad wanted me to. And I realized my mom wanted me to have an education too, but at the same time, none of these things that I'm taking classes for I have a passion for. I realized that was my problem. I didn't have a passion for anything. While I was taking college classes at a community college, I also had a part-time job at a cafe. I remember one day my mom picked me up from work asking me if I should continue school. Do I want to be in school? And I remember telling her, no, take me out of here. I hate school. And she asked me, why go to school? Why don't you just continue on with your part-time job and just make money for now, since you don't know what you wanted to do? And I just thought, oh my God, my mom's telling me to drop out of college? Like, that's just crazy to me, because parents just, want their kid to go into college so they can have a career after and be successful in their life and make money. But I didn't want to waste another dime of my mom's money in something that I didn't have any passion for. And the more I took classes, the more time I spent in school, the more time I was wasting. So that's when I dropped college. I think I was like 19 years old. I only got one life, and time is money. So I decided, instead of trying to figure out what I want to do while I'm in school, why not make money? You never know, I can go back to college whenever I want to. So from then on, that's what I did. I just continued my part-time job. I saved all my money. I keep saving and I keep investing, and I remember it being so scary. I was really shameful about it. I didn't tell my dad at the time, and I didn't want to tell my family because I'm half Asian. It's a stereotype for, the Asian parent always wants their children to be a doctor or a lawyer and have an education. And I did not want my family to know, since everyone on my mom's side are educated, they're all doctors and dentists. I didn't want any of them to know that I dropped out of college. So I kept that a secret for a while, because I wasn't super proud of my decision at the time, because I feel like society and because of my family also put that in my mindset that you have to go to school. After high school, you have to go to college, because it's perceived that people that drop out of college don't do well in their life. They're not successful, they're dumb, they live paycheck to paycheck, and they struggle with their life. And so I had this mentality for so long that it would just eat away at my soul every time someone asked me if I'm going to school. It's been 2 or 3 years and I still don't know what I want to do, and that's totally okay. And I've come to terms with it. I've accepted it. I've accepted that that is who I am. That's what's best for me, and I'm happy. I don't put that pressure on myself. I don't let that define myself. The fact that I don't have an education, I'm uneducated. The most important thing is I'm happy. I'm happy with my lifestyle. I am still working at a part-time job. I don't love the job, but it allows me to pay for my bills and pay for the things I want, travel, have time for myself, have time for hobbies. I get to work out, exercise, do yoga, walk my dogs, and live and carry out my life. Just because you go to college doesn't mean you're going to have a career afterwards. Not everybody gets a job right away after college. And then there's so many people out there that don't have a college education and have a great career. It actually brings me to this point. I keep this as a reminder on my phone because I found this on Instagram, this quote, anonymous quote, but it's a good one. Someone graduated at 21 but waited 6 years to get a good job. Someone had no education but was a millionaire at 21. Someone got married at 20 but divorced 5 years later. Someone got married at 30 but found everlasting love. You're not late, you're not early, you're on time. So everybody has their own path and journey in their life, and I just think that college is not one way to carry through your life. And I think that's a perception in society, that people just look down on people that are not educated. It's a stereotype, but it's not necessarily true, because I just think that people are better off doing stuff that works for them. Yeah, so to answer your question, I do not regret dropping out of college. I did what's best for me. And then I also wanted to point out too that your success in life and your happiness all comes down to you. Life is not one straight line. College is not just one way to live. There are so many ways to get to your destination. Going through life and figuring that out is part of the process. But what's most important is your happiness. What it all comes down to is you. You know, you do what you think is best for you, because what everybody else is gonna say is not gonna fit with your life. You have to live your life at the end of the day. Whatever people are saying to you is not going to work for you. You're the one that's living your life. If you are in college watching this video, I'm not asking you or suggesting that you should drop out. I want to convey that maybe you should evaluate why, or ask yourself why you're going into college. Is it to make your family happy, to say that you're educated, or you actually are going to use college as a tool into your career? You know, you don't want to waste your time in college just to get a degree and not use it. I have even family members to my uncle's ex-wife. She has a doctor's degree, an MD, and she never used it. She just got the degree, you know? And then she was a stay-home mom after that. So really evaluate, take the time, and don't put pressure on yourself because your family wants you to be in college. Do what you want. Figure it out what you want. And I think that's the hardest part too, is figuring out what you want. Also, another thing is, if you don't like something, change it, because that's part of life. You can always change it. You are in control of your own destiny. I hope this video makes sense. I'm sorry this is my first video, but make sure you like and subscribe. Follow me on Instagram at Cassie Trossett. Please comment down below your story, your opinion, and anything you want to share about this video. You can critique me, be nice though, but I'll catch you in the next video. I will be making more, and I'll do better. I'm sorry. Bye guys.